or just a vague wish? Angel, and I believe that everyone can operate on their A game no matter the circumstances. By combining clarity, aligned action, and a proven system, I help entrepreneurs stop spinning their wheels and start achieving real results they deserve in life and business. Because here's the truth: action takers achieve, and it all starts with a single step. Now, I have a question. Do you have a vision or just a vague wish? Let me show you how to get so clear on your vision that is inevitable to come to pass. I'm excited to talk with you today because look, let me share a quick story. So I knew I was going to live in Florida, didn't know exactly where, and I was ready to get out of the apartment I was living in California and back into a home. I had homes before, but went through life situations, lost homes, sold homes, all that stuff that happens in life, right? And even was in some really bad spaces where I found myself homeless and needed to get out of that. And I'll come back to that story later, but here's the point. I ended up in like a duplex, and then from there I was in this apartment, cute little apartment on the inside anyways. It was a little apartment, maybe about 900 square feet. I might be giving it too much credit, but I was ready to move back into a home. And so I had this vision of what I wanted my home to be. And in the apartment complex, the first place I lived in, it was so hard to find parking. You had to park on the street. So if you live in California, you know what I'm talking about. Then the next place I lived in, the last place I lived in, it actually had a garage in the back. It had, a little overhead parking, but we had this gate that you had to slide open. No, let me fix that. First, it had a lock, the old school industrial lock where you had to put the key in and then turn it and then pop it and then flip the little lock out. The old kind you used to put on your locker at school too. And so then you take that off, take the chain off, and then you slide the gate open, pull your vehicle out, slide the gate back in, and then relock it. So I had to do that every time. So I was like, no, I'm ready to get into my own place. I want to be able to have a beep beep, you know what I'm talking about, where you push the little button and then the garage door opens up before you get there. So I had that before, and I was like, it's time to have that again. No more sliding and pushing and searching for parking on the street. And I was like, God, please, I just want to have, I was happy if I got 3 bedrooms, right? I was like, I could turn one into an office / library. Then I have one for guests and then my room. And I wanted a decent sized backyard. But I was clear on what I wanted and what I wanted the neighborhood to, how I wanted the neighborhood to be, and, all these cool things. Well, let me tell you, because I got so clear on my vision and I had it written out, and I've taught that before, the importance of writing it out and the power of the written word, that I not only got what I wanted, but so much more. So I went from this little 900, and I still think I'm giving it too much credit. I don't think it was that big. I think it was about half of that size, apartment complex. Okay, so let me fix it. It's probably like maybe 550, close to 600 square feet, something like that. But anyways, I went from there to now a 2,600 plus square foot home with 4 bedrooms. I have my own separate office. I have an office, a room for my gym. And then I still have 2 additional guest rooms plus my room. And the gym you can actually still use as a guest room as well. And I have a loft / library TV room. So I got everything I wanted, but much bigger. 2-car garage. I got my beep beep, y'all. And an amazing backyard and actually lakefront. As a matter of fact, I'm looking right now at the water. Just everything shifted when I got clear on my vision. So here's what I want you to do. Write these steps down. I want you to clarify your purpose. Basically, just define why. See, for me, I was ready to get back into a home, wanted to get out of that apartment, and I wanted to get back in the sun. And everyone says, well, you were in the sun in California. I know, but here in Florida, I feel like I'm on a vacation every single day, even when it rains. But I want you to define your why. Now, some people break that down into an acronym of what's hurting you or what's happiness to you. Well, what was hurting me was being in this little place and, pushing the door back and forth every day, going outside to the laundry room. Now, I was grateful to have all of that. Don't get me wrong, very grateful, but I was ready to have my own, to have the laundry room in my home, right? To be able to beep, beep, and pull into the garage. So that was what happiness would be for me. And so I want you to get clear on what your why is for this vision. But I want you to define your goal. Now, when I wrote this down, I thought maybe it's going to take maybe another year, maybe 2 years. It didn't even take a year. Do you hear me? In less than a year, I was leaving California, packed up in my car, and I moved to Florida. I actually live in a city that I've never been to before until I actually came out to look at homes. And it's a brand new home. I forgot to add that to you as well. So I'm not it's not previously owned. I'm the first owner. So I want you to write your goal out. What does success look like to you in this particular goal for your vision? Whether it's a year from now, 3 years from now, 5 years from now, how does that look? I need you to define that. That's important that you know. See, I knew what I wanted my outcome to be with the home, and I got that plus so much more, which I know will happen for you. Then I want you to identify your values or your key themes that are important. Now, you heard me mention earlier, one thing that was important to me was community. But maybe you're not doing a lifestyle goal. Maybe you're doing a business goal, and your value or theme that's important is maybe growth or impact, or the community that you want to build around your business is important. And then the next step is to visualize. You want to have vivid imagery. Oh, let me tell you, when I would go walking in my the neighborhood that I was in when I lived in the apartment in Los Angeles, I would see the palm trees. Well, we have palm trees in California, but I would see the trees and this beautiful green grass when I walked, and I saw my community looking a certain way. I saw kids out having a good time and playing and riding their bikes. Now, that's not really what I saw in my neighborhood that I was walking in, but in my mind, that's what I saw. When I would pull up to that park overhead parking that I told you about, that I had to put the thing on, let me tell you, when I would pull into the little alley to come there, before I go, in my mind I would go beep beep. I'd reach up to my little my what you call it, visor, like I was pushing the button on it, beep beep. You know, my imagery was very vivid. I was very clear. Like in my mind, I saw myself pressing the button, even though reality was I had to get out the car, take the key, unlock stick my hand through a little gate, unlock it, take it off, open it up, pull in, all those things. But I was very clear. So my image was very vivid, like I was rewriting everything that I saw. And even when I would sit still and think about how it would look, and I would see the colors, that I wanted in my home, then I want you to make your vision inspiring. It should inspire you and challenge you at the same time. Most people were like, "You're gonna go away to Florida? You don't even know anyone in that city? You never been there before? Who did you meet? Who do you know? What guy is it?" Like, there's gotta be a guy every time I do something. No, it wasn't a guy. It was just, that's where I knew I was supposed to go. I didn't know anyone in this city. I'd never been to that city before, but I knew that I was going to get my place in that city, and I did. But it was challenging. It stretched me a little bit, and the steps that I had to go through to make it happen. And I want you to do the same thing, but make sure this vision is inspiring. Also, I want you to focus on clarity. It should be clear, like very clear. And it should be your vision, not someone else's. Your vision. That's why it is possible, or that's what makes it possible for it to be very clear, because it's your vision. And we already talked about how to get that clarity, right? By sitting down and writing, because writing causes you to think, and thinking creates the image. So take some time and sit down and do that. Write it out. And then engage others if applicable. Now, let me tell you, you can't tell everybody everything. And like for me, I realized very quickly I couldn't tell people about that vision of me moving to Florida, and especially because you tell the wrong person and they will muck you up. I didn't curse. I said mess you up. You know what I mean? Because, people can't see what you see. That's why it's your vision. And people will begin to impress their doubts, their fears, their worries, their concerns. Now, some people are doing it because they love you, and some people are doing it because you're making them feel some kind of way, because you're stepping out on faith and in place for your vision. So I learned very quickly there were people I couldn't just even talk to anymore, or stay on the phone with them very long, because they were not in alignment with my vision, which sends me to the next step, is you be in alignment with your vision. You be in alignment with your vision. That means that, which leads to the next step, which is create a roadmap. Now, your vision is your destination, but your roadmap is going to help you get there. What is it that you need to do? Who do you need to know? What are the things you need to have in place? You want to write it out. Does it always align up in the way you've written it? No, but it's a starting point. So you have to be a little bit flexible with your roadmap, but not flexible with your vision. Right? You still want to be very clear on what it is that you want, but it might shift on how you get there. And then the last thing I want to say is communicate. Now, if you have some folks who are in your corner that you can trust your vision with, then communicate with them frequently, because it helps create commitment. But more importantly, communicate it with yourself every day. Not only should it be written out, but you should place it where you can see it. And you should read it every day. And you should hear yourself read that vision out loud. It is so important. Let me tell you, you apply these things and things will begin to change for you. Things will shift for you. It will happen quicker than you can blink your eye. And it will be so amazing. You'll sit back and say, gosh, what did I do? And you just got clear on what it was that you want. You defined why you want it. You put your goal in place and what it looked like to you. You had your values. You were in alignment. You were communicating to the right people or just to yourself. You were visualizing every single day. It was very vivid imagery. And I'm probably leaving some things out. You wrote it down, right? And you focused on clarity, on being very clear, right? Very clear and concise. So folks, that's it. No more vague wishes. I want you to be very clear so that your vision will become reality, and it can for you. See you next time.